Hey guys, today you're going to be creating your own unique and interesting compositions that include paper somehow. Drawing and Painting 3, you guys can choose paper or fabric in your compositions, but Drawing and Painting 2, you're going to use paper somehow. What does that mean? It could mean so many different things, and as the artist, you're going to have to come up with the ideas that make your artwork that much more interesting for people to look at. You could start simple like some of these, where it's just a folded piece of paper on a colored background taped down. Or you could go for something more conceptual, like this folded paper airplane on a surface of a drawn sky. This person's using lunch bags to create kind of pattern and texture and color. You could base your project off money. You could have a whole bunch of different colors of crumpled balls of paper aligned together in an interesting composition. You could fold paper and create more of an origami-inspired composition. Remember, whatever you do, you've got to recreate it with art materials. This person cut out the whole figure 3 different times. So they took a picture of someone, they cut out the whole figure, and then they crumpled it more and more and more and created an interesting composition that way. This person used torn paper as a focus, and you can see you've got the one face that's done in graphite and the other one that maybe is done in colored pencil or watercolor. But you've got this torn edge and the shadow between the sheets of paper. You're making some kind of a statement about the relationship and the interaction of the two parts. They're really focused on the texture of the paper, especially at the tear, and the dimensionality of the paper as shown by the shadow. You could take magazine pictures and you could crumple them up like this, or you could tear them apart, or you could crumple and tear them. You could take a picture of your dog, print it out, tear it up into little pieces, arrange them so they're mostly in the right area, and then take a few of them out, or turn a few of them over, or switch the placement of a few of them. There are so many different things you could do to make an interesting composition using paper as your starting off point. So I'm going to think of a few ideas that I can try and work with. A little bit ago, Eric Fogel made this out of pictures that came out of a satellite imagery book. So I'm going to set this somewhere with good lighting, take a picture of it with just like a stark white background, and then I'm going to try and get all these textures and all the lights and all the paper edges and stuff. And so Eric took someone's art, turned it into another piece of art. I'm going to take that art, turn it into another piece of art. So you can always kind of mess with that, like play with the continuity of art history and relationships between people. I've got this playing card. It's an extra playing card. I could tear it, make a commentary. It's the Queen of Hearts about love or about things like that. It depends on the card you use, obviously, and I could tear it and bend it like this. Photograph it on a solid piece of white paper, capture all the shadows it's casting and all the shadows between it, how the light hits different edges. You guys could see how when the light hits it differently, some of the light's coming from above, those yellow lights. Some of the lighting's actually getting picked up from the windows behind me. So if I turn it just right, you might get some of that blue light on it. That's from the windows. So there's kind of some cool effects you could do by using some playing cards. Maybe you could just have a bunch of playing cards out, do something like that. Here's origami somebody did. I could turn that into an artwork. That could be something cool using all the different shadows and textures and shapes and thicknesses. I could take this picture of Madonna from a magazine. I squished it so that her face is totally gone, and I could try and use that as a way to make a commentary. Could tear 2 magazine pictures and see how they line up, trying to capture something interesting in the ways that they align, and see if I could work with that, make something cool. Just make sure I crumpled the top one a little so I get a little bit of shadow. I get a little bit of edge on it. Here I also tore this guy's head out, and then I had found this kind of explosion that I could add on there. Somehow combine them, maybe include another piece of paper somehow after that, and build, layers on this. There's a lot of different things you could do. It's up to you. You've got to come up with something interesting. You've got to be in charge as the artist. Your job right now is to create a unique and interesting composition using paper, or if you're in Drawing and Painting 3, you can use paper or fabric. Your work may contain other things, like it could have a person in it, or it could have real objects in it. It doesn't have to just be paper or fabric, but those things need to be the center of the concept that you're building. You'll need to take some pictures of your composition so you have something to work from when you do your project. If you're in Drawing and Painting 2, you'll be expected to create a graphite drawing in black and white on 11 by 14 mixed media paper. If you want to level up, you can use color, and in this case I would use colored pencil or acrylic. If you're in Drawing and Painting 3, remember, you can use fabric for your composition if you want, but you must use color. My recommendation is to use colored pencil or acrylic paint. 11 by 14 is pretty big, and using colored pencil on 11 by 14 will be a challenge and may require you to use some extra time outside of class. So keep that in mind when making your decision. We'll use the remainder of class time to go out and try and come up with some interesting and unique compositions. It should take you a while, and there should be a level of investment where you're thinking about what you're doing and you're trying to create pictures that are strong, that you can build good art from. Don't just go out and quickly take a picture of the first thing that comes to mind, and don't go with the first picture that you took. Make an effort to take multiple pictures. Think about lighting, and think about how you're going to make something that you can connect with and how you can make your viewers connect with. Please feel free to come back and check in with me if you've got questions or if you want me to tell you what I think about your picture. This picture will be for a grade, and I expect you to take it seriously and work hard to create something interesting and unique.